P1 over here. I hope you're having a splendid day wherever you are in the world. Guys, we are at my favorite track on the modern F1 calendar. We are in Azerbaijan at the Baku City Street Circuit for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Guys, heading towards the performance chart. Big news in the performance index. You guys can see myself and Mercedes have shot up the chart. And guys, this is where I realized how small the gap within the teams really are. We brought 2 upgrades. There was 2 major upgrades and we have shot that far up. If this continues, we can mount a late season championship charge, but only time will tell. Looking quickly at the performance chart before I run out of time. Racing Point, Haas, Red Bull, Williams, then ourselves and McLaren, now P5, Mercedes, Ferrari, Renault, Alfa Romeo, and Scuderia Toro Rosso bring up the rear end of the field. Now guys, heading into qualifying, I made a bit of a boo-boo, but I'll tell you that when we are within qualifying. So please, enjoy qualifying, yeah.
The circuit has rubbed it in with practice, but this is still going to be a difficult session for our drivers as they fight for pole position. Welcome to qualifying here in Azerbaijan. I want to talk briefly about the strategy in these qualifying sessions. Anthony Davidson, how can a driver adjust their approach to gain those critical extra tenths of a second?
Well, qualifying isn't about adjusting your approach necessarily, it's more about trying to repeat a low fuel run that you've practiced prior to this session. You're looking for perfection on the lap, and that's hard to achieve if you're trying something new. There are some variables that can stand in your way, however. Track position or unexpected yellow flags, for example. Coupled with ever-changing track conditions, it's important to be out there at the right moment. But as a driver, you have to try and ignore these distractions and just keep your mind focused on that one perfect lap.
So guys, jumping straight to the middle of our final lap in Q1. Guys, obviously with the performance chart improvement from our side, with we improving the car so much, I really thought that making Q2 was going to be easy. I was mistaken, because I really struggled to get the pace out of the car. Like I told you guys, when we looked at the performance chart, it was really close within the teams. So even still teams like Alfa Romeo and Renault were still pressuring us and McLaren, and now you've got Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull, Haas, all these big names mixed in between, and it's a real critical part of the season, and we've not even through round 4. So guys, I think this is going to be a majorly interesting video. So you guys, if we head to the end of Q1, oh boy, no, what's Butler doing in P5? Ah! Glorious P15! Ah, la la la, I've been wanting to see that the whole season thus far. Thank you! We're through to Q2. But guys, I made a bit of a boo-boo, like I said. For some other reason, it's probably not my boo-boo, it's probably my PlayStation's boo-boo. My final lap in Q2 didn't record. But I'm going to tell you guys now, we ended up P13. So that's, as far as my knowledge goes, is where we'll start. So I'm sorry about that, I've got no control over that, but for some other reason it just didn't record, and I know I hit the record button. But in any case, not the end of the world. We're starting from P13 on the grid. It's gonna be a good one, I think so.
Alright, I think we can call that a successful qualifying. We should be in with a good chance in the race.
Thank you, Jeff. Guys, I apologize just once more for not having my final lap in Q2, but it doesn't happen often, so you guys know it's chilled. But guys, without further ado, let's head straight to my favorite Grand Prix. Let's head to the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, yeah!
And a warm welcome to you from Azadlik Square, heart of Baku and home, of course, to the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. With high speeds, tight corners and few runoff zones, many are expecting a safety car here today, so our drivers will have to stay very much on their toes and hopefully away from the barriers. The Baku City Circuit measures roughly 6 kilometers and is made up of 20 corners and 2 DRS zones. The circuit winds around the narrow city, through the old town, and even brushes against the city's medieval walls. However, as beautiful as the setting is, this track is also a ferocious technical challenge, where the smallest of mistakes could lead to catastrophic consequences for all of our drivers. Anthony Davidson joins me today as we look ahead to something just a little bit different. It's quite high speed for a street circuit here, isn't it? Do you think that's going to throw up any unexpected situations?
Well, as long as the teams can keep everything cool, I don't foresee any particular big issues from a technical side of things. I do expect the track to be quite slippery though. We've not exactly had much chance to rubber in the surface. Any street circuit also comes with its own challenges, so I think we'll be seeing a few mistakes here and there. The smart strategy would be to expect a safety car, I think, especially early on when the pack is bunched up.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday puts him on pole, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Hamilton, Gasly, Lucas Faber and Sainz, Norris, Butler, Verstappen. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. And O'Connor, Grosjean, Ricciardo, Sergio Perez and Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Magnussen, Sebastian Vettel and Daniel Kvyat. Albon and George Russell ends our grid lineup. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Okay, the run into turn 1 isn't too long, so the pack will be bunched up. Take care.
Thank you, Jeff. Guys, on the grid, easy one-stop strategy from mediums onto hards. I tried the mediums to soft, but this is a highway track, so that was not going to fly. Guys, P10 on the grid thanks to penalties. I thought there were going to be penalties this episode, but it's just a sweet thing to my eyes and ears. And guys, without further ado, please jam with me on the formation lap. Yeah! Ready for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix here at Baku in the city streets as we head to 5 red lights, and it's go for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton on the front row. Charles gets a beautiful launch over the line as he defends from Lewis Hamilton and Hamilton's teammate Valtteri Bottas heading into the first corner. Was it actually Bottas on P2? Yes, it was Bottas P2, Hamilton P3. Sorry about that, guys, quick mistake there from my side, as Bottas is already under pressure from Pierre Gasly and Lucas Weber in the background. So you guys can see Charles is trying to bolt away there from Lewis Hamilton. There goes Lucas Weber on the outside of Bottas. He dives it back to the inside as he tries to dummy Bottas, but Bottas at this stage keeps it around the outside, and now he has to try to hang on to his teammate and Charles Leclerc, but that is not going to be an easy task. As guys, we're jumping back to my POV for my start of my favorite Grand Prix. P10, Max Verstappen is on my inside and my teammate right ahead of me. So you guys see heading into this very hard braking zone. Max leaves the door wide open. Well, he actually opens up the door. We dive it up his inside, but the grip of his soft tires are just a little bit better coming out of the corner. Then I dive it up the inside of my teammate, who is on exactly the same strategy as myself. So we are up into P8, and now my teammate is forced to defend his P9 from Max Verstappen. And if Max gets past him, basically me and Devon have just swapped places if you guys could go back to the start. So you guys see, I have a little bit of a look there around the outside of Lando Norris in his Williams, but I decided against it. He was very quickly get busy to squeeze me up against the wall, so it's just a safer move to back out of it. Heading into the second sector chicane, one of my favorite parts of the track. You just feel awesome going through here. I don't get the best exit, and now Max Verstappen has a little bit of a look on my outside, heading into the castle section. Very tight there between the two of us, and now heading through this very, very tight castle section, one of my favorite spots on the F1 calendar. But unfortunately, I go away from my POV because they're jumping back to the battle for P3 between Lucas Weber and Valtteri Bottas. So you guys see that pink and blue racing point is right on the heel of the turquoise, silver and black number 77 Mercedes of Valtteri Bottas. As now we head through basically the final corner of the track, guys, because it's the final corner you have to brake for. From here on, it's just flat out, foot to the floor, to the line, as it's Bottas v Lucas Weber going through the flat out chicane. Getting as close to the walls as you dare. It is side by side between the two Mercedes-powered cars, but Lucas Weber is busy schooling Valtteri Bottas, and that is Lucas Weber up into P3 and onto the podium. So you guys can see I'm having a drag race with Max Verstappen, but at this stage the McLaren actually has got the legs on Mr. Verstappen. So that was actually very nice for me to see, guys. As soon as Max pulled out of my slipstream, I was just starting to creep away. So that was a good feeling for me, I'm not gonna lie. And as you guys see, now we jump on board with Pierre Gasly, as this is still an intense battle between Lucas Weber and Valtteri Bottas. Heading into T3, it's very tight. There, guys, watch out, there's walls on either side. But it is Weber from Bottas, from Gasly, and then it is Carlos Sainz behind them. As you guys can see here, this next part, this is actually Verstappen once again trying to pressure me. He goes for a massive dive! Stay away! He bounces his car massively over that inside curve, and now he has lost ground from me and will be under pressure from my teammate Devon Butler. Come on, Devon, for once I'm actually rooting for you, you son of a gun. You guys can see it now. Oh, Gasly, don't go for a move there. Oh, he just gave me a little bit of a heart attack. It is now the Red Bull of Pierre Gasly versus the Mercedes of Valtteri Bottas. Bottas is just getting swamped by all the cars. And I think DRS has been activated, guys. I think it is lap 3. Yes, it is. And guys, look at Sainz and Norris as they are all going past Bottas as if he is searching for parking. Sainz v Gasly, Norris v Bottas, heading through T1 now into T2. With these guys going side by side through the first corner, it's giving me the chance to catch up in the background. As you guys can see, Norris gets the move done on Bottas, but Sainz cannot get the move done on Gasly just yet. And Gasly also has DRS as we head into the next spot. Here goes Russell, Norris as he tries to go for a little bit of a move there, as Gasly has a very bad lockup, but that is not the time for for Norris just yet. So you guys can see here, going on to the end of the next lap, this is now Carlos Sainz in the driver's seat with DRS and a very powerful horse in a straight line. As you guys know, back from our Season 2 days, we made that car an absolute rocket ship in a straight line, and this might be a very easy move for Sainz. Gasly keeps it around the inside there, and now he is under pressure from Lando Norris as I am right behind them, guys. Let's head into this next part. DRS open. It is a very quick run to this next corner. Oh, there's yellow flags. Yellow flags for Lando Norris, guys. It's been an engine failure, and he even runs into the wall and breaks his front wing. So, guys, that is the race end for Lando Norris. He will not finish the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, unfortunately. To jump back between the battle of the Frenchman Gasly and the Spaniard Sainz. As you guys can see, I'm still behind them, but I'm struggling to keep up with these two cars that have such good chassis when it comes to Sector 2. But as you guys see, here goes Gasly for the move on Sainz. I've also got my rear flap wide open. Heading into the first corner, I'm going to go for my esports line. Sainz goes defensive, so he leaves the door wide open. I have a look around the outside, but he gives me a massive, massive squeeze. And I think that is just what Gasly wanted, because now I'm putting Sainz under pressure, and he can just mash the throttle and get that Red Bull away from us. But as you guys see here, now it's still me versus Sainz, but I still don't have the straight line speed of my former World Championship winning car. Now you guys can see here into this next part. It is Charles Leclerc v Lewis Hamilton, and Hamilton is finally done sitting behind Charles Leclerc as he is going for a move to take the lead of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and it's an easy move heading into T1. That is now Lewis Hamilton into the lead of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix here in the streets of Baku. Do you guys see heading to the T2? Charles is still tucking that Ferrari right up underneath the gearbox of Lewis Hamilton as we head down the second DRS detection zone. Here, basically just another very long straight. Leclerc goes to the outside with Hamilton on the inside. It's a very tight squeeze through there as Hamilton nearly runs into the inside wall. Charles runs over that piece of debris from Norris's front wing. Is lucky to get away without a puncture. As we rewind back, guys, I am still behind Carlos Sainz, but this highway is just what I need because this long highway with combined with DRS will make up for the power difference between myself and Sainz, and that's a beautiful move up the inside. Sainz tried to squeeze me towards the pit wall, guys, but I just forced myself to the inside, and that is me up into P5. Yeah, P5. So guys, we are having an absolutely awesome race at this stage of the Grand Prix, but Sainz is saying, no, son, you're not going to get it done that easily, as the number 55 horse gets past my McLaren as I nearly run into the back of him. I'm giving myself a heart attack. Not nice. As guys, we head on to this next part. It is finally Lewis Hamilton is the first to bite the bullet and dive his beautiful Mercedes into the pit lane. He straps on a set of hard tires, so Hamilton is definitely doing the one stop here today in Baku. Then it is Pierre Gasly and Carlos Sainz right behind him coming into the pit lane. So you guys see Gasly straps on also a set of hards. Let's see what Mr. Carlos Sainz does. He also goes for the hard tires. So guys, I think the main thing here today is going to be the one-stop strategy from softs onto hards, but we'll see if some of these guys go for a gamble. As right behind Charles Leclerc, it is Lucas Weber heading into the pit lane. As Weber might have tried to go for a move there, but I think when he saw Charles come into the pit lane, he just said, copy, paste. That is Charles at the pit lane. Charles is going onto the one stop to cover off Lewis Hamilton, so he is onto the hards. What does Lucas Weber do, guys? We don't go onto his POV, but guys, I see softs. I see red wall softs. So guys, Lucas Weber is going stupidly aggressive with this strategy, and he is going for the two-stop here today in Baku. But it is Hamilton now just behind Charles Leclerc. My teammate Devin Butler is in between these guys, and also now it is Lucas Weber behind my teammate Devin Butler. And guys, I am in the lead, leading the way from this point on. Remember, myself and Butler started on the medium tire, so we are still going about 4 to 5 laps on this strategy before we will dive it into the pit lane. Probably a little bit more like 7 to 8 laps before we dive it into the pit lane, as I just nearly choked on my own little spit there. That would not have been nice. But as you guys see here, this has got to be an absolutely sweet move for Lucas Weber. It's just too easy, guys. The McLaren is just not the straight line speed fanatic that the Racing Point is at this stage of the season. And as you guys see here now, this is now actually Sergio. No, this is still Lucas Weber. Now going for a move on Lewis Hamilton. It's up into the next corner. That was stupidly close to the wall, guys. But Lucas Weber gets the move done there on Lewis Hamilton. I do not know how they made it through that corner in one piece. But you guys see it now heading on to this next part. Hamilton is now once again behind Lucas Weber. And unlike the McLaren, the Mercedes is not a slouch when it comes to the straight line speed. Heading down this beautiful highway here in the streets of Baku. You guys can see it's Hamilton. He pulls to the outside actually of the track heading into the first corner. And that is Hamilton once again past Lucas Weber. Weber can do absolutely nothing. Tire compound will not make a difference to straight line speed as well as top speed. So acceleration and top speed. Why did I just not say acceleration? You stupid, but it's okay. So you guys see it now. Once again, Lucas has got DRS on this next DRS detection. Hamilton is going defensive, but it is no use. It's no use. It's no use. And there goes Lucas Weber up into net P2, guys, as he's going very aggressive against Charles Leclerc, trying to force Charles defensive, which he does, heading into the second to last braking zone of the track. Into the final braking zone, Weber actually goes for a very brave dive up the inside, but it is just Charles is putting that Ferrari, he's parking it on the apex. But with these two fighting so hard, Hamilton has now joined the frame of this fight, and he is right behind Lucas Weber. As guys, Lucas goes to the inside as they go down the highway. Hamilton will now have DRS along with Lucas Weber. Poor Charles Leclerc is going to be a sitting duck. There's nothing he's going to be able to do. As we head into the first quarter, will Hamilton try a move on Lucas Weber? It's very close, but Weber just has the grip advantage, and that is Weber up into the net P1 of the race. So you guys see it now. This is Hamilton and Leclerc fighting once again as I accidentally go onto the POV of Hamilton's front wing. But here comes Charles Leclerc, guys. The Ferrari and the Mercedes are so closely matched. Although the Mercedes is supposed to be a better car, if we look back at the beginning of the episode's R&D chart. So you guys see here, Lucas Weber is loving this part of the track as he is now trying to go for a move on myself as well. Heading into this next corner, this is for the race lead, guys. Weber bounces his car very violently over that inside curve. I back out of the move to keep my car out of the outside wall, and now heading onto the highway, guys. I'm just going to poach DRS and slipstream off of him. I wish he actually did not make that move because he cost us so much time. We went through that corner at a snail's pace, but it is okay. Through the flat out chicane now right behind this racing point, guys. I am diving it into the pit lane this lap, guys, so this very high top speed will help me a lot. So you guys see, I go for the move. Why did Weber brake? Oh, he's also diving into the pit lane, and he did not want a pit lane entry crash there. But guys, now I'm just going to be a massive hold up for Weber, and this has to be music to the ears of Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton, who will be given back the lead and P2 of this Azerbaijan Grand Prix. So you guys see that I will come out ahead of Lucas Weber, and that is us now releasing onto the track in P3 and 4. No, 4 and 5. Sorry, 4 and 5. As you guys, let's go through the leaders here. It is Charles Leclerc leading the way from Lewis Hamilton. All the pit stops are done, so it is now time to run through the top 10. Pierre Gasly is driving a solid race for Red Bull in P3. But guys, as far as my knowledge goes, he did have an issue with his car, a mechanical issue. So me and Weber were closing up at a very fast rate. It is myself in P4, Weber P5, Max Verstappen P6 for the second Ferrari. My teammate actually P7. Carlos Sainz is in P8. P9, it is the second racing point of Sergio Perez. What's he doing there? And he is battling away with the final Williams left in the race of Lando Norris. And guys, we all knew this time would come where Lucas Weber was just going to pass me as if it was nothing. Guys, at this stage, all I was going to try and do was stick with him for as long as possible. But this is the fastest car on the grid by a long shot. So to keep up with that car is not the easiest thing, especially with him just being such a good and consistent driver. But as you guys see here, this is exactly what Lucas Weber is wanting, guys. He wants Hamilton and Leclerc to battle fiercely, because to get past Gasly is not going to be an issue, guys. Gasly has got a mechanical problem. As you guys see already, Weber and myself have caught up to Gasly, and Weber is just making that Red Bull look like a Formula 2 car heading down this highway here. As you guys see once again, Leclerc is going for the move on Hamilton as Hamilton squeezes Leclerc violently to the wall there. Leclerc has to duck out of the move, but he will still have DRS as we come past the pit straight. And there we go. Leclerc is back into the lead of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Weber has got a lot of catching up to do. And for some other reason, Weber went onto hards, not onto mediums to finish the race. So Weber is really giving himself an almost impossible task. As guys, also my teammate, Mr. Devon Butler, is putting Max Verstappen, my Season 2 championship rival, under massive pressure. And I think Max is just so tired of my car or my team's car busy giving him a hard time. So you guys see a Butler goes around the outside. Come on, Devon! This is for the constructors, guys. I'm only rooting for Devon because it will be beautiful in the constructors championship if he also gets a solid points finish here today. As Max will now dummy him to the he dummy to the inside, went to the outside, and that is Max back up into P6 as he has a little bit of a lockup heading into T3. But I'm sure Devon is not going to let that fly. Devon is on the fresher tires, and that is why he can hang on with this McLaren to the rear end of that Ferrari, which at this stage is, according to paper, a worse car, but I can see with pure pace, the Ferrari is still faster than the McLaren. As guys, heading into this next part, you guys can actually see Devon gets the move done heading into T1, but now we jump back to the POV of actually Lewis Hamilton. I nearly said Valtteri Bottas, as he is going once again after Charles Leclerc, heading into the final corner, guys. Very tight between these two. Very well, one 6-time world champion and one future world champion. Hamilton is now ahead, but he has just given Charles Leclerc the DRS. So Charles is going to get past that Mercedes, I think, in easy fashion. Let's see if Charles has got some ERS to play with, because you don't just need DRS. You need some electric energy to get your car to just boost past your opponent. And where is Charles? Where's Charles? There's Charles. And once again, it's not an easy move, as Hamilton is very brave and very late onto the brakes of that Mercedes, and he keeps the Mercedes ahead of Charles. Beautiful defending there from Lewis Hamilton, guys. I don't like the guy, but he's good. He's good. He's good. So you guys see, this is not my teammate Devon Butler going side by side with Max Verstappen, and he hits the wall. No, Max forced my teammate into the wall there, and Devon has broken his front wing. He has lost his right front end plate. No! That's exactly the constructors' points that we needed at McLaren. But now hopefully Max is under pressure from Sainz and Russell, just so they can leave Devon alone, because guys, every lap matters now. I can't believe Max just did that, guys. Devon was not at fault there. Max should have given him more space, but Max just completely forced Devon into the wall. And that is not... that is just not fine for me, guys. As now Butler is getting swamped by Verstappen, Russell, and Sainz right behind him. So guys, Devon's race is over, especially the second sector. You can't go through the second sector with that massive amount of downforce loss. Just the car feels like a boat. And no, this sucks. Oh my goodness. Guys, let's see if Lucas Weber goes for that beautiful move he has been going for almost this whole race. He's on the inside, going to the outside to pressure Charles Leclerc. Him to the outside, but Charles does exactly the same to Weber. What Max did to Devon. It's Ferrari on a mean streak today. It's Ferrari trying to take out their competition. As now, Weber still gets ahead of the Ferrari. I do not know how with that front wing damage. But now Charles is going to have an easy move heading into the first corner. And look guys, I think Weber is now heavily cheesed off with Mr. Charles Leclerc. Guys, Ferrari are going to have a very deep discussion with the stewards after this very action-packed Azerbaijan Grand Prix, as Charles is up the inside, and it's now that Ferrari ahead of the racing point of Lucas Weber. But let's see if Lucas can get something done heading into the next corner, guys. Remember, also less downforce means a lot more braking, because you don't have that amount of air slowing the car down from the front. But Lucas has got the DRS, and he actually gets the racing point ahead of Charles Leclerc. As guys, we jump to the end of this lap. This is the final lap, guys, as Lewis Hamilton has just driven the smartest of everybody today, and he is definitely going to take the win here in Azerbaijan. And now, guys, we have to see, can Weber defend from Leclerc as we run towards the line, as Hamilton rounds the final braking corner. And now it is flat out all the way towards the line. Lucas Weber v Charles Leclerc, Racing Point v Ferrari. Who is going to get P2 as we run towards the line? Charles is quite far back, but guys, it's still a long run towards the line as DRS gets opened now. And Charles Leclerc, here he comes, guys. It's going to be so close. It's going to be so close. Who got the win? Who got it? Guys, I do not know who got it. Was it Charles or was it Lucas? But guys, we are going to finish in a solid P4. It's P4, but who took P2?
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Yet another historic win under their belts. Well done to the team at Mercedes. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. It's a good result for Lucas Weber, who extends his advantage at the top of the championship. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
But there's no question in my mind, it has to go to George Russell. What a performance. He's got every right to be proud of what he accomplished out there today.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. It was a tough race for our championship leaders who lose ground at the top of the table. There was also a strong showing from the Mercedes team today as they make their way up the standings. Well, that was certainly an incredible weekend of racing. Be sure to join myself and Ant for more exciting Formula One action soon.
What a weekend of racing, my Turbonatics. Charles Leclerc steals P2 from Lucas Weber on the line. We take a solid P4 if just Devon got himself into the points. But guys, that was not Devon's fault. That was completely Max Verstappen's fault. And Ferrari have really just gotten under my skin, guys. That's the team that I want to drive for somewhere in my career. And they are not making it easy to love them at this stage. Seriously, they are not making it easy.
That's a great result. You did really well. I don't think we can have any complaints with that performance.
Thank you, Jeff. But guys, like Jeff says, a solid drive from our side. It's time for the contract renegotiations, guys. I want level 3 on everything. You guys know we have to get level 3, especially the pit stops. McLaren are giving me solid pit stops, I have to say. But you guys see the car's not yet a Q3 car, not yet. We still have to do a lot of upgrades, a lot of tweaking.
We need to make some compromises.
Okay, hard team goal, how about now? And I'll do P13 qualifying, how about now?
They aren't coming round to that proposal. Let's try something else.
Okay guys, let's go for level 1 on the simulation. That'll be a definite contract.
All right, the terms have been agreed. All that's left is to sign the paperwork. You'll be on this new deal from the next race weekend.
Thank you, my beautiful manager. Guys, new contract. Very exciting times in the current F1 2019 career mode of ours. And yeah, guys, I'm just gonna do a front downforce upgrade, and the rest of the R&D I am gonna save because I want to go for an ultimate upgrade for the chassis at the end of Spain. But guys, that has been this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for staying till the end. Like, subscribe, share on social media, all that beautiful stuff. And I'll see y'all for the next round when we head to the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya in Spain. I'll see y'all next time. Cheers!